If you have suggestions for changes in the program or in the structure of our student government, we want to hear these. In short, we welcome all of your suggestions. We thank you for your willingness to serve, and again, let me wish you success in the year ahead.
Now, my own idea of this council is I see it as strengthening the educational process in Fort Worth twofold, strengthening relationships twofold. One, of course, obviously between the students and the administrators, that this body, the entire Fort United High School Council, the area level and this all-city level, serving as a liaison between the students, the voices of the students down within the schools, trying to get their words heard here at the administration building. Whenever they have something to bring up, something that they feel strongly about, now they have somewhere to go to get this idea out. The other point that I think definitely needs to be strengthened is a more friendly relationship between members and among members of separate student bodies.
Concerning the discovered irregularities in city government, the Channel 8 report said, quote, instead of reacting, the city officialdom has more or less retreated. And again, quote, somewhat typical of the shoulder-shrugging attitude in the entire Sulphur Springs affair was a grand jury investigation. And then again, quote, apparently this was supposed to cleanse the official and public conscience. Let's briefly review what happened. New or reestablished practices and procedures under a new city manager and the alertness of a city employee disclosed the first of these irregularities nearly a year ago. Following initial investigation by city government itself, and on its own initiative, without pressure, requested an outside state investigation. To be sure, the city did not in any way influence that investigation. The investigator was instructed not to inform the city or any city personnel of interim findings. At an appropriate time, the collected information was turned over to a grand jury, which returned an indictment. Continuing to pursue the matter, the city, instead of retreating or shoulder-shrugging, caused civil action for recovery of funds to be initiated against a business firm and 2 individuals. As for the case, which Channel 8 said was strangely passed to the next court docket sometime in February, both radio and newspaper were present in court and reported in considerable detail. The case was passed for resetting, possibly as early as next month and not February. Presiding District Judge Joanne Chapman is available for comment on this point, but he has authorized me to voice his objection here to the Channel 8 expression curiously passed as being both erroneous and unjustified. It is still too early to pass final judgment. Both criminal and civil actions are pending. District Court is operated under the handicap of pending and now actual reorganization. Newly appointed District Attorney Jack Neal has authorized us to say here that neither the investigation nor court action in these matters has been concluded. That if an inspection of the Channel 8 news stories disclose allegations not already adequately presented, that he intends to see that Mr. Ayres does have an opportunity to appear before the grand jury and present the information on which some of the unidentifiable allegations are based. A few of the fine, great things about Sulphur Springs compare rather strangely with word and camera portrayal in which Channel 8 said in part Sulphur Springs is an old town. The same people have been running it for years, will probably continue to do so for years to come. Dark horses do not get elected in Sulphur Springs, you said. You see, you describe for us a strange and an alien place. It is simply not the one that we know and that we feel. To me and to many people like me, this does not do justice to the place where we live, where we work, and where we raise our families. Bradford.
Our program for this year is budgeted at about $600,000 and encompasses 7 different programs ranging all the way from new devices to pick up oil spills directly from open sea under adverse sea state conditions to the treatment of absorbent materials such as sawdust and chemicals. It's an ambitious program that will be continued through the following year, and if the job is not to our satisfaction at that time, we'll continue to work on it until it's done.